In this video, we're going to talk about armadillos. Now, you've probably seen these little armored critters around, but believe me, there's so much more to them than meets the eye. They are total masters of adaptation, with some, well, truly bizarre and fascinating habits that have helped them thrive. So, let's dive in and uncover some of their secrets. First things first, let's talk about that shell. It's their most defining feature, right? It's literally in their name. The word armadillo comes straight from Spanish and it means little armored one. I mean, you can't get a more perfect description than that. So, here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the absolute basics, then we'll jump into where they live and how long they stick around. After that, we'll check out their daily lives, their super unique family situation, and we'll wrap it all up with 5 incredible facts that you are not going to want to miss. Alright, let's get into our first section. So, when you look at this little armored creature, what kind of animal do you think you're looking at? A reptile, maybe? Well, the answer might just surprise you. Yeah, despite that scaly, tough-looking armor, armadillos are not reptiles. Not at all. They are 100% mammals. And here's the kicker. They belong to this super cool group called Xenarthra, which actually makes them close cousins with, get this, anteaters and sloths. Who would have thought? Okay, so where in the world can you actually find these guys? And once you find them, how long do they even live? Let's take a little trip into the armadillo's world. The heart of armadillo territory is really Central and South America. That's where you'll find most of the different species. But there is one, the famous 9-banded armadillo, that's made its way into the United States, and what's wild is that they're not staying put. They are on the move, expanding their territory further and further north every single year. So what about their lifestyle? Well, out in the wild, life is pretty tough. A typical armadillo lives for about 6 to 7 years, but if you put one in the safety of captivity, where there are no predators and no cars, they can live for a surprisingly long time. We're talking up to 20 years. Now that we know where they are, let's zoom in on what they do. What's life really like for an armadillo? What do they eat? Who do they have to watch out for? And how do they spend their time? Well, armadillos are basically professional insectires. They spend almost all their time with their nose to the ground, sniffing out their next meal. Their absolute favorites are things like beetles, grubs, ants, and worms. But, they're not super picky. If they stumble upon a small lizard or some fruit, they'll snack on that too. You might think that shell makes them invincible, but not quite. It's about natural predators like coyotes and black bears. But one of their biggest threats today isn't even an animal, it's cars. See, their natural instinct when they get startled is to jump straight up in the air, which, as you can imagine, is a really bad move on a busy road. And what about their social life? Do they have big families, a leader of the pack, a chief? Well, it's pretty simple. They don't. Armadillos are total loners. They don't hang out in groups, they don't have leaders, and they definitely don't have friends. They live an independent life and really only look for each other when it's time to mate. Okay, hold on. Because this is where the armadillo story gets really, really weird and absolutely fascinating. Their way of having babies is one of the most unique in the entire animal kingdom. Seriously. It all starts out normally enough. Mating happens during the summer. The males are polygamous, which just means one male will try to mate with a few different females. But what happens next is where things take a very strange turn. So that brings us to the big question, right? When a female armadillo gives birth, how many babies did she have? 1? 2? Maybe a few more? What do you think? The answer is 4. And here's the mind-blowing part. It's almost always 4 identical quadruplets. A single fertilized egg splits into 4 perfect copies, creating 4 genetically identical clones. It is one of nature's wildest and most incredible reproductive strategies. Alright, to wrap things up, let's just do a quick lightning round of 5 more incredible facts that prove the armadillo is one of the weirdest and coolest mammals on the planet. Okay, ready? First, they're amazing jumpers. When they're surprised, they can leap 4 to 5 feet straight up. Second, they can walk underwater. No joke, they can hold their breath for up to 6 minutes and just stroll across the bottom of a creek. Third, that famous armor, it's not hard at birth. Babies are born with soft, leathery skin that hardens up as they grow. Fourth, they sound like pigs. When they're digging for food, they often make these little grunting noises. And finally, and this one is just incredible, a female can actually pause her pregnancy for more than a year if she's stressed out. So, what does this all tell us? It tells us that the armadillo is a true survivor. All these weird traits, the armor, the cloned babies, the underwater walking, they're not just random quirks. They are brilliant solutions that have allowed this little armored mammal to thrive. It really makes you wonder what other secrets they're hiding, doesn't it? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.